Elvira Almenara de Luli has died. However, she has actually come alive. She now lives more fully than ever before, illuminated by the perpetual light of the Lord. With wondrous rapture, she sees the face of God and is transfused by his love. With absolute joy, she sings his praises, accompanied by her loved ones who preceded her. As she herself said when her dear sister died, she is now in the best hands and in the best place. As a united family, we know that this is so. Thus, we are at peace and rejoice. We trust in the mercy and love of our Almighty Father. As an all-knowing gardener who takes the greatest care, he lovingly snips the flowers in his garden at just their right moment. At this junction of our mother's existence, we can only have cause for great happiness. The most important constant in Mama's life was her love of God and her behavior in all circumstances that reflected such love. One night, years ago, when her mind began to slip into the black cloud of Alzheimer's, Mama felt the need to leave us her message. She pronounced each word with much effort. She said very slowly, "I love God very much, and I have given God everything." Mama had a special devotion to the Virgin Mary. She would frequently invoke Mary's intercession and inspired her children to love her. Mary was Mama's model as a mother and as the pillar of the family. Mary's home was a model for her own, and its spirit reflected the presence of Mary. Mama was an active member of Opus Dei. At the time of her death, our father and she were its oldest living members from Peru, having helped to plant many seeds from its very first days in the early 50s. The work was Mama's spiritual family, nurtured her spiritual life, and provided a source of solace and joy in many respects. On her desk and in different spots in her house, Mama had little statues of donkeys. They were reminders of Saint Josemaria's words that he was God's donkey, submissive and humble, while always carrying a burden. As for Mama's priorities, her family came first. That same night that she made an effort to leave us her message, she also said very slowly, "All that I have in this world are my husband and 9 children." It was as simple as that. With great wisdom, Mama knew how each of us are so different and cared for us in the particular ways that we needed. Whatever our age, we children always remained her pollitos, her little chicks, all part of what she called the Luli bunch. Over the years, the bunch came to include wonderful grandchildren that she loved dearly and were for her a source of great joy. Mama was really beautiful. Boy, she was beautiful. But her real beauty came from within, from her soul that was unassuming and sensitive. She was always very elegant, but her elegance came from her simplicity. She was attractive, but her attraction came from her kindness and gentleness. Our father always called her his jewel. All were always struck by Mama's particular type of delicate beauty, elegance, and attraction. This beautiful soul that is Mama was always marked by much sacrifice and pain. And I would say made even more beautiful by her willful embrace of the same with great joy. As a teenager, Mama really did not have friends, and instead, for years, intermittently, cared for her mother, who spent months in and out of the hospital. Mama once told me that she remembered how, while sitting beside her mother, she would often look out the hospital window and see the sun starting to come up. Shortly thereafter, she married very young, and she continued to be touched by tragedies and emotional pain that marked her whole life. At the same time, during her whole life, she suffered physical limitations, discomfort, and physical pain. Pain and more pain, both emotional and physical. Mama accepted all of this with courage and strength and great joy. When we complain about life's little problems, her retort was, "What? You actually thought that the path to heaven would be easy?" Courage and strength. Mama identified with the motto of her family of birth: Cristal de roca no se quiebra. That is, rock crystal does not break. Rock crystal may be beautiful, translucent, and even seem delicate, but it is also very strong when it comes under pressure. Some mysteries remain in the realm of the spiritual. Was the person who Mama met on the train in Portugal actually her guardian angel? Was her time to die originally 14 years ago, when she was discovered to have a massive brain hemorrhage, which inexplicably began to recede? Was she offered by God the opportunity to be a victim soul for the benefit of her salvation and that of her loved ones? Now we are left with the challenge to follow Mama's example of a Christian life. And she will be ever watchful of her pollitos and intercede on our behalf so that we do precisely that. Through her intercession, we will receive special graces to aid us. But by the same token, we must raise the standard that we must set for ourselves to be equal to Mama's example and aid. Keeping in mind Mama's overriding humility, I have said enough about her. Now, she wants us to focus on Christ and his beloved mother. Any favors that we receive from Mama's act of intercession are his alone. Sometimes Christ chooses our loved ones to be conduits of the graces and mercies of his sacred heart. For us, that is more personal, because we identify and relate more easily with those whom we know and love. In ending, I will speak more directly to my siblings, wife, nephews, and nieces. Actually, I will relay some words of our beloved Winnie, who is a brother to us in all except blood. Be there for each other and for her. Take your quiet time too. Talk to her, because she is there with you in a more intimate, spiritual way. I know I always say this, but any sorrow you feel, let that be as well, is actually an expression of love. In other words, the joy you felt when she hugged you or kissed you is actually the same as the pain you may feel as this or that unique moment reminds you of your loss. So speak to her as you normally did. You can tell her anything now. Let her be with you in this new way, this constant way, for today and for your future when you need strength. She is there now. It is in days like this that you can also appreciate your faith and the true, incredible depth of real love. Sorrow is a reflection of the real depth that is love. You are taught that by your faith. This is a time when you see in action the power, the heritage, the deeper life understanding, and the grace given to you by faith through your mom and glorious father as well. It is within a day like today that you see its ability to transform what the world only sees as an end to a family-centric, gentle celebration of a great accomplishment of a life lived well. And for us, it can actually be a new beginning grounded in the inspiration she did, does, and will give you to continue your good thought. You rock on as a strengthened family. Amen. And thanks be to God, because truly we can rejoice. On behalf of the family, we would like to thank Angela and all of the caregivers who have taken care of Mama for all of these years, and we'll also take care of Papa.